the atom only a few decades ago, and through his God-given genius of science, man, at last, has succeeded in penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space. The moon has become the launching base for advanced exploration. From this pivotal point, astronauts, at the risk of their lives, set out to conquer nature's mysterious forces. Yet many questions remained unanswered. What is his Earth in relation to the inconceivable number of other worlds? Is his speed truly the fastest, his achievements the greatest? Or is he a mere unimportant piece of driftwood floating in the vast ocean of the universe? Could there be life similar to our own on other planets? Is it not possible that atmospheric conditions of relative environments control their shapes and forms? If so, would they be giants? Or could perhaps the opposite be true? Could their intellect have reached a scientific level far above man's dreams? What then will the future reveal if this story you are about to witness is only the beginning?
Without change, something sleeps inside us. The sleeper must awaken.
The phenomena you're about to witness could well revolutionize your way of thinking. We are presenting startling facts and evidence that take up where other explanations leave off. Some of these revelations may very well go against things you have been taught and perhaps believed all your life. Prepare yourself for the evidence which will follow. The producers accept no responsibility for any mental trauma caused by the content.
Major cities in all parts of the country, New York, Los Angeles, report plague victims falling dead in the streets, in their homes, at their work. The first symptom appears to be severe choking, followed by immediate unconsciousness.
Criswell. For years I have told the almost unbelievable, related the unreal, and showed it to be more than a fact. Now I tell a tale of the Threshold People, so astounding that some of you may faint. This is a story of those in the twilight time, once human, now monsters, in a void between the living and the dead. Monsters to be pitied, monsters to be despised. A night with the ghouls reborn from the innermost depths of the world.
I remember the first step in avoiding a trap is knowing of its existence.
The story of the Secret World War all began at dawn at Lawrence Milk's huge record warehouse in Polka Waltz, New Jersey.
Okay, satellite imagery coming through.
Roger that. Patch visual my location.
2 billion miles away, on the Emerald Planet in the Mopet Galaxy, friendly creatures are aware that the planet Earth is in danger. They have received an urgent message that the salamander men of the planet Kulamon, deep in the Marpet galaxy, are planning to attack and destroy Earth. Here the Emerald Men confer on what must be done. They are aware that the atomic destruction of Earth could contaminate their own atmosphere with radioactivity. And so they reason. In order to save themselves, they must save Earth from the impending Kulamonian invasion. Scientists of the Emerald Planet have invented one of the most ingenious mechanisms the universe has ever seen. Called a globe meter, it is carried on the wrist. It enables its wearer to do three things: to fly through space, to detect radioactivity, and to speak and understand every language on the planet Earth. Finally, this great forum of the Emerald hierarchy reaches a decision. In order to save Earth from the Kulamonian attack, they must once more present the globe meter to one of their fellow creatures and send him to Earth. He is the creature made of the strongest steel, the creature who can disguise himself as an Earthling. He is the creature known as Starman.
With the winds they have spoken, but not by menacing or by punishing, but through their life-giving powers they have spoken. What have they said? O wise Tiresias, who knows? Who can say? A peril hangs over all our land, a peril from afar, unknown.
Who is threatening us? Who would dare attack the creature?
Evil is upon us. Forces of unbelievable horror out of the west, where few have been, through the straits from which no vessel has returned. Across unknown seas, beyond the straits from which no man has yet returned.
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. The movement was begun 8 months ago by a small group of scientists who discovered, quite by accident, these signals being sent through
I've been coming out to this landing site every day for 2 years to measure it. And here's the thing. The circumference and the diameter change by a few inches, yet the radius remains the same. Which brings me back to the number 5. There are 5 letters in the name Blaine. Mix the word Blaine up, mix it around. Eventually, we'll get Nabali. Nabali, the name of the planet in a galaxy way, way, way far away. I'll tell you another thing. Once you step inside this circle, the weather never changes. It is always 67 degrees with a 40% chance of rain. Always.
The poor and the underclass are growing. Racial justice and human rights are non-existent. They have created a repressive society, and we are their unwitting accomplices. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness. We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We are focused only on our own gain. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered. That is their primary method of survival. Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated. They're pulling the water out.
Welcome aboard. Miss Mason, nice to have you back. And a new recruit. What a pleasant surprise. It was regrettable you ever left us.
You didn't expect me to wait to be killed.
We'd no intention of killing you. We'd come to a different decision entirely. And now we can implement it. This ship runs automatically. We'll land on the moon in exactly 3 hours. Nothing you can do can change that. And when we land, you will be taken to the Master.
What Master?
The Master of the Moon. Our great leader whose intelligence planned and directed this whole project. He himself will be able to watch the removal of that annoying plate and the occupation of your brain. There's knowledge there that we need. It's been too long withheld. Please relax. Enjoy your remarkable privilege. A free trip to the moon.
These are 3 scientists from Earth who found their way onto our rocket. The girl was formerly one of ours. These are 3 scientists from Earth who found their way onto our rocket. The girl was formerly one of ours. One of the others is the man whose mind we could not control.
We will control it. We have need of it.
I'll destroy myself first.
Silence. Slaves do not speak without permission in the presence of the Master of the Moon.
Believe me, I am not your slave. If you should conquer and rule the Earth, there will always be some who will fight against you.
Conquer and rule Earth? Why should we want to do that? What possible satisfaction or glory could we find in ruling a race whose most intelligent life force is little more than primitive savages compared with our vast knowledge? We come from a world called Zan, a planet in the system of a faint star you call Leporis. We Zans are the ultimate evolutionary form of the highest life order in the cosmos. Once, 1,000,000 generations ago, we too had physical bodies. But as ages passed, we became bodiless intelligences, pure mental energy. Too late, we realized our doom. Mental energy alone could not survive. In a few generations, we, the highest life form in the cosmos, would cease to exist. The lower creatures on our planet built a spaceship, and we went forth to search for the salvation of our race. The ship crashed on this moon of your Earth. Some of us came to Earth in meteorites. We commandeered the brains of your most intelligent scientists, who constructed the ship which brought you here.
What was the purpose of the plague?
We needed workers, many of them. We could make people appear to die, bring them here, and revive them to work for us. Your own government sent the bodies of plague victims to the site for your scientists to dispose of. When the work is ended, they will be returned unharmed.
What work are you talking about?
To rebuild our ship and create a launching site for it. We have traveled too many light years in search of an answer to our survival. We have not found it. We have grown old and weak. We wish to die on our own planet. We do not wish to harm anyone.
Attention, people of Earth. I am Ambassador Phantom from the planet Krangkor. At this moment, I am rapidly approaching your planet. You will tell me then whether you prefer to surrender or die.
I've been afraid a lot of times in my life, but I didn't know the real meaning of fear until I had kissed Becky. A moment's sleep, and the girl I loved was an inhuman enemy bent on my destruction. That moment's sleep was death to Becky's soul, just as it had been for Jack and Teddy and Dan Kaufman and all the rest. Their bodies were now hosts, harboring an alien form of life, a cosmic form, which to survive must take over every human man. So I ran as little Timmy Grimaldi had run the other day. My only hope was to get away from Santa Mara, to get to the highway, to warn the others of what was happening.
Be prepared for a fantastic adventure into the future. A monstrous world of terror and chaos. For when this switch is thrown, the universe will face havoc. The Earth will be devastated by an invasion of the cosmic monsters. But what of the human element? Can man withstand the incredible force of this uncontrollable holocaust from outer space? It was all up to the scientist and his beautiful assistant. Could they stop this terror, or would they too be swept up by these incredible cosmic monsters from the unknown? For king-size thrills and breathtaking suspense, see this charge of science fiction dynamite, an explosion of terror you will never forget.
People of Earth, attention. People of Earth, attention. This is a voice speaking to you from thousands of miles beyond your planet.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Earth, we greet you in peace and friendship. We come from a planet far beyond this galaxy. A planet far more developed than Earth, but we come as friends. Although we know your language, our own methods of communication are mental rather than verbal. Hence, the voice you hear me speaking with is totally mechanical. Our intentions are honorable. We desire above all things to help the people of Earth, to establish embassies here, and in the near future to set up reciprocal visits between Earth people and Canaanites.
Perhaps you watched this initial questioning. Most people on Earth did. On television sets, radios, shortwave. And surely some of the questions asked by your representatives must have been identical to more than a few of your own. Because as a race, we are unaccustomed to charity. Brutality is a far more universal language to us than an expression of friendship from outer space.
Would you be willing to be interrogated here and at this time? There are UN delegates present of most of the important countries, and the television cameras are carrying our meeting throughout the world.
I will be glad to.
Senor Valdez of Argentina is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Senor, could you please inform us precisely why have you chosen this planet for your visit? It has come to our attention that Earth has been plagued by both natural and unnatural catastrophes, all of which could easily be acted upon and prevented. We are here to help you.
Recognizing Dr. Denis Levesque, the representative of France.
Monsieur, my government wishes me to ask you the nature of your health. What forms will it take? Indeed, if we should prefer not to avail ourselves of the various aids that you mentioned, your reply would be what?
We will not force anything on you. You will take only that which you choose to take. For example, tomorrow, we will demonstrate to all interested parties a new and extremely interesting power source, which is atomic in nature and which can supply a form of electric power for entire countries for the cost of a few dollars. It's extremely economical.
Mr. Grigori, the representative of the Soviet Union, is recognized.
People of the Soviet Union would like to ask the Kanamitz precisely, and I repeat that to him, precisely what are your motives in coming here quite uninvited? Are we to assume that there is no ulterior motive beyond this vast humanity you speak of?
Well, there is nothing ulterior in our motives. Nothing at all. You will discover this for yourselves before too long, simply by testing the various devices which we will make available to you. We can show you, for example, how to add a certain very cheap nitrate to the soil and end famine on Earth for good and all. We can demonstrate to you quite practically the principles of the force field, in which you may cloak each nation with an invisible wall, absolutely impenetrable by bombs, missiles, or anything else. We ask only that you trust us. Only that you simply trust us.
That was what we all thought. It was the age of Santa Claus. Only these Kris Kringles came without white whiskers and rosy cheeks and twinkling eyes. They were 9 feet tall enigmas who descended on us like locusts. But nobody was counting or worrying. Except perhaps a few professionals whose job it was to second guess. In a sense, I was one of these, a decoding specialist for the United States government. And this is where I got into the act. Beyond an instinctive feeling. It tells me that when this Earth gets enough to eat, when there are no more wars or diseases or famines, this is going to be a Garden of Eden.
Your optimism is most refreshing, Mr. Chambers, but I suggest that for the time being, you continue your process of deciphering until you can tell us precisely, and I mean precisely, what that book says.
We've licked the title anyway.
What does it say? How much does it tell us?
Here it is.
Well, that makes the cheese a little more blinding, wouldn't you say, Colonel? I'd call that a reasonably altruistic phrase. Do you agree, Patty?
Well, I want to believe it, but I don't know what to think.
To serve man. I hope so. I fervently hope so.
Flight number 914 from Earth to our planet. We will be taking off in 3 minutes.
Mr. Chambers! Mr. Chambers! Don't get on that ship! Rest of the book, To Serve Man, it's a cookbook!
No!
chambers heat. We wouldn't want you to lose weight.
How about you? You still on Earth or on the ship with me? Well, it doesn't make very much difference because sooner or later, will all of us be on the menu? All of us.
The recollections of one Michael Chambers with appropriate flashbacks and soliloquy. Or more simply stated, the evolution of man. The cycle of going from dust to dessert. The metamorphosis from being the ruler of a planet to an ingredient in someone's soup. It's tonight's bill of fare from the Twilight Zone.
Quinn Martin production. Starring Roy Thinnis as architect David Vincent.
The invaders. Alien beings from a dying planet. Their destination, the Earth. Their purpose, to make it their world. David Vincent has seen them. For him, it began one lost night on a lonely country road looking for a shortcut that he never found. It began with a closed, deserted diner and a man too long without sleep to continue his journey. It began with the landing of a craft from another galaxy. Now, David Vincent knows that the invaders are here. That they have taken human form. Somehow he must convince a disbelieving world that the nightmare has already begun.
This is Jack Rowland. You are listening to CFSI 107.9 FM, broadcasting from Salt Spring Island and around the world at cfsi-fm.com. Catch us at 102.1 FM from Fulford to Cushion Lake.
God. I'm back. I'm home. All the time. We finally really did it. You maniacs! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Still listening, follow these instructions if you can't get underground. Cover yourself with wet newspapers and lie still until the blast has subsided.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
But these beings, they don't seem to be very concerned about dying or avoiding death.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe they know what comes after death with more confidence than we do. Maybe there's another vessel waiting for them on the other side.
The other side?
Yes, which may in fact be where they come from in the first place. I've heard the claims that they come from Zeta Reticula or the Pleiades, but it hasn't been established that they come from out there at all. Their saucers may not travel through space as we know it. They may fold in from another dimension, another reality.
You make them sound almost supernatural, like angels or devils.
Supernatural is just a term for aspects of nature we don't understand. For many people, they certainly do serve the functions of both angels and devils, forces we can't comprehend. Have you had enough of me? I think I've earned my money.
It means that we are extinct as a race, unless, of course, we can find some good breeding stock and repopulate our planet.
The two of you are beginning a strange journey. A journey that no Earth people have ever undertaken before.
You'll marvel at the superior intelligence that unleashes its deadly ray.
Steve!
Or can kidnap an airplane in flight. Prisoners hurtling through endless space, speeding toward the unearthly furies of a planet gone mad. See sights never before dreamed by man. The battle between guided meteors and deadly rays.
They're gonna hit us! They're going to hit us!
A planet doomed to destruction while captive Earth people fight for their lives.
It is indeed typical that you Earth people refuse to believe in the superiority of any world but your own.
Your ignorance makes me ill and angry.
Icon,
kill him. We may need him. Just take his mind.
world of the future. Yes, this bustling world of 1,000 moods reflects the dreams of its ambitious inhabitants, dreams already realized of man's triumph over nature, where humans no longer suffer self-inflicted pains, where one is made to enjoy life. You know, the future's a magnetic place. Each year, 100 billion are born into it. Why, it seems all roads lead to tomorrow. Why, just looking at the future is enchanting. Browse along conveyor belts where awe-inspiring holograms are as much a part of the experience of every man as were the real trees, mountains, and sunsets of the dark past. It's thrilling to wander amidst these realistic 3D images, and you'll certainly feel at home, since the leaders here have chosen the architecture of the mediocrities of the middle class ages as the most relaxing and appeasing of all art forms. It could be the old world charm of suburbs and franchises, or power plants and office buildings, which might suddenly change to lovely forests and pastures. But wherever you go, you're still amid the clean, ever-changing holograms of the future, made possible by the amazing hologram projectors and the careful planning of the folks behind the scenes. And it won't put a dent in your budget, since holograms are produced in economical black and white. You might even get to see a rare hologram eclipse when your real surroundings become enjoyably apparent.
We are having technical difficulties. Please in order to move.
You won't worry about stepping through an image and getting lost. You'll know better. Yes, there's plenty to keep you on your toes here. You can't see it all. You can't even be sure you're seeing any of it. But you don't need nature for beauty. The buildings here are inspiring monuments to our adaptable workers, such as the enchanting shopping metroplexes. During Let's Go Shopping, a 20-minute break in a 20-hour workday, humans compete to consume as much as possible, and all it costs is time. What husband could resist letting his wife have a spree for free? And there's sure no trouble deciding what you want.
Fight for me.
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
That's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
You can't spend a lot of time on the phone, so give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
strange there's almost no wounded at all.
The bugs don't take prisoners.
You know what I found out about you and your cute little friends, Nelson? You're part of the counterculture. That's right, you're the enemy of hard-working guys like us. That's why today is a great day. For today we rally in support of Proposition Deep 13. Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Simply put, Proposition Deep 13 means that we will send you today's experiment, the Beast of Yucca Flats. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it will crush the satellite of love, Nelson, because we've signed a contract with America. Tell them what we're sending them, Frank.
We're sending you a wake-up call named the Beast of Yucca Flats.
Take that, counterculture.
You're out of touch, and we hate you.
Oh, you do you? Well, maybe we can't match your pomp and your balloons and your bunting.
Oh, hold on, I think I got a horn.
But what we do have here is this man, the nation's most articulate spokesman for the dream that is the satellite of love. This fearless man who has led us, his quaking sheep, through, our darkest hours. Need I describe how he stood with us before the goons and truncheons of Peabody Mining, a loyal friend to the Union?
I'm sorry, we had to cut away. We need to go now live to the White House press room for an emergency military briefing.
The state of emergency has been declared in the United States of America, including all overseas dependencies and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. For reasons yet to be determined, the bodies of the recently deceased are returning to life and attacking the living. The scope of this epidemic is now reaching global proportions. The President has sent to Congress a package of initiatives which will be explained by the Secretary of Defense, Mr. Martin Emery. Mr. Secretary.
As of 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the President has declared the continental United States under martial law. A nationwide curfew of 7 p.m. tonight has been put into effect, and any citizen caught outdoors between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. is subject to arrest and detention without counsel. All reserve military personnel and National Guard are ordered to report for immediate deployment. All law enforcement, firefighting, and emergency personnel will be federalized effective immediately. All communications facilities, including the use of landline and cellular telephone facilities, will be reserved for military and rescue operations. In order to halt the spread of this contagion, our nation's borders to Canada and Mexico have been sealed. No longer seek shelter in private residences, no matter how safely protected or well-stocked. Retain all ownership records of private property, but do not attempt to transport or defend said property. Rest assured, looters will be prosecuted with deadly force, as will any attempts at vigilantism or secessionist political activity. No questions.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Dragging your butt through the day, selling body and soul to a bunch of bland normals? Acting stupid so they'll think you're one of them? Tired of getting all of the guilt, but none of the sex? There is a simple answer, dear friend. A glowing beacon of slack amidst the turmoil and darkness. It's J.R. Bob Dobbs, the living slack master, and his Church of the Subgenius. Bob brings a new destiny for the abnormal. For Bob comes to justify our sins, to unmask the conspiracy, and to get us back the slack they stole away. It's us versus them. Are you gonna fry in hell on earth alongside the pink boys? Or will you pull the wool over your own eyes and accept Bob into your mind? Repent, quit your job, slack off, and praise Bob!
Church of the Subgenius, eternal salvation, or triple your money back.
Le programme, c'est fini. In toto. Kaput.